Hi everyone, I just wanted to just talk quickly about charcoal, the supplies and using charcoal and whatnot. So when it comes to sharpening it, so this is sharpened. I haven't actually smoothed it out yet because I wanted to show it on the video. So some of the things that you need, of course, is charcoal. So you need black charcoal and white charcoal. If you're going to be working on toned paper, this is very useful. Or if you want, nice highlights, yeah, using the white charcoal is pretty good. Also, having sandpaper, you can use a block. Just get some sandpaper and glue it on masonite board or whatever, so it has a nice flat surface. Or I use these emery boards, the ones women use for their fingernails and everything, meaning because it's small, it's portable. So if I'm out sketching somewhere, I can actually just use these ones. They fit in your pocket, so yeah, they're easier to carry than a block. Now with when it comes to the white charcoal, I like to use Generals, mainly because the white charcoal is kind of firm, so it won't break as much as other ones, and that's of course just a personal preference. Okay, if I'm doing quick sketches, I'll use a HB hard charcoal. Okay, I'm just showing you the Generals. There's lots of other ones, the extra soft and the medium. So I use those three if I'm if I'm going out somewhere and I just want to do quick ones, so I'll use these three. Yeah, and also there's lots of different types of charcoal. This is some willow charcoal here. Okay, the thin ones. These are good for just laying in those quick broad strokes and doing details and whatnot. I'll show you how to sharpen those soon. Okay, so first of all, with your pencil charcoal, when you're sharpening it, let me show you one. The first thing is, when you're sharpening, make sure you pull it towards you, okay, like that, and just spin it as you're turning. And the reason being is, before I finish, what I'll do is I'll put a few strokes here, right? Okay, so what you can see here is going from skinny to a lot broader, and I'm trying to trying to keep it the same, but the thing is, it's got these ridges. So when you're looking at the edge of the pencil, if it's not sharpened, when you sharpen it with your X-Acto knife or whatever you want to call it, okay, so that's what it looks like on the tip before it's sharpened. Okay, so it's going like that, and then you have that area where the wood is. Okay, so that's the charcoal right there. So because you have all these uneven ridges, you get uneven strokes and also uneven tone, because you think that you're pressing hard enough for this area here to hit the paper, but then this area might be hitting the paper because you can't see that close. So that's why when you're sharpening, you do that, okay? And while you're pulling it towards you, you spin it slowly. Okay, so that way you get an even smooth, just like that. Okay, so it comes pretty smooth. Now it doesn't have to be like a dagger point here. A lot of times, some people might have the tip like that. Okay. So after they've pulled it this way, they'll slant it a little bit so they can get that that angle there. And the only reason being is because if it gets too pointy at the end here, it will break. Okay. So you keep on doing that. And another thing is, once you finish sharpening, right, or even while you're drawing, this is something to look out for. After you sharpen it, a lot of people might just come in and just start shading straight away. And what you should actually do before you do that is actually wipe the tip of your charcoal pencil, because it'll have all that powder still on it, that's, you know, transferred from here. And what'll happen is it'll give a uneven deposit of charcoal on your paper. So when it comes time for you to do things like smudging, so I'll just use this cloth really quickly. Comes time for you to, you know, do the smudging and everything, it will give an uneven tone, and that's not what you want. You want as much control as you can get when you're using these things, because they're not so easy to erase. Okay, so that's tip number one. So when you sharpen it, pull back, okay, and try and give it this kind of tip. But as I said, it's a matter of personal preference, but just be careful, because if it's too pointy, the tip will break, and then you'll have to go back and sharpen it again, okay? So that's one thing to watch out for. Also, make sure you always clean your charcoal before you use it. So even if you're shading broad areas, so you're shading a big area, right? Okay. So once you start noticing that powder coming up, go ahead and, you know, give it a quick wipe, and then go again. Okay, when you think there's a lot of powder buildup, then you clean it again. Now with this, a lot of times you build up the layers. So once you've done that, you smudge it, and then you can go over it again. Okay, and try to do it in a different direction. Okay, that way, because the fiber of the paper is all like that, you know, it's not, the paper is not even, so the surface looks something like that. So what you're doing is trying to get it into those small, there's some fibers that come out like that. So you might have charcoal here deposited here, but not underneath here. So that's what you want to do when you're doing it in those different directions. You're actually trying to fill up all those different gaps. Okay, and wipe it. Okay, and smudge it, and then you can continue again after that in a different direction. Okay. And so that's one way of building up all that darkness that you want, and trying to get rid of all those white spots that you can see in the paper. Okay. And so that's how you build it up slowly. And remember, keep twisting your pencil so you can keep that uniform point and edge to the charcoal pencil, okay? And then you smudge it again. And there you go. Okay, so another tip. These tips you can also use when it comes to using your pencil. Okay, so clean it. Another tip is don't blow on your work. If it's, you know, something that you want to keep or anything, don't blow in it, because most artists can just tell you that there's almost no way that someone who's been blowing on their work has not spit on it. I've spit on my work a few times, and sometimes work that are commissioned work, like a commissioned pencil portrait, you know, I've actually spit on some of those, and I have to start all over again. So I don't want you to have to go through that frustration. So another of the supplies that you need is a brush. This is my wife's old makeup brush, and I use this to clean off. Okay, just like that, or to just spread some of the powder that might be on the paper, and I just want to give a gradual nice tone to it. So I'll use the brush for that. So you can find any kind of makeup brush that you want, or you can actually buy a proper paintbrush and use that. But make sure it's a nice soft brush. Okay. So that's that. What else? Yeah, compressed charcoal. Now I'll just let you know a few. When you're sharpening willow charcoal or other charcoal, there's a way to sharpen it. Okay. And I'll show you that now. So this is the charcoal itself. So be careful, okay, because they're not very, very tough. So as I said, you can pull on it. So what you want to achieve when you're doing this is not really the same point that you have on a pencil, okay? Because if you did that, it would be... So the point that you want is that. Can you see that? Let me see if I can focus the camera on it. Okay, can you see that? So that's the kind of wedge shape that you want for your charcoal. Focus again on the paper. There we go. Come on, you can do it. Okay, so there we go. So that's the shape that you want on your like a willow charcoal or something. You have that wedge shape like that. And the reason being is because it'll give you that nice pointy edge, and it'll also give you a flat surface for doing broad shading, you know. And it'll give you that nice pointy, so you can do lots of details. Okay, so that point there, you can see it's nice and thin, the line. Okay, nice thin line. Instead of trying to guess, you know, oh man, I wonder where that edge is. So if you had it just as normal, you know, you'll use this edge and then it'll look something like that. So you'll try and use that edge, then it'll look like this. Then you try to use this edge and it looks like that. And then you're trying to, you know, trying to find that edge. It's best just to sharpen it that way. And once it starts to get a little bit blunt, and then do the same thing again. You know, sharpen it again. And so once you've sharpened it again, you'll have that edge. So that way you can have a consistent stroke and you'll get used to it. Okay, so that's how to sharpen your willow charcoal. Now, of course, there's a good charcoal stick. Like if you're buying willow charcoal and stuff, a good one shouldn't have how do I say this? When you're using willow charcoal, sometimes there's some cheap ones that are out there, and they're great for sketching. But the thing is, they have these, they're almost like it's unburnt. Okay, so you have the charcoal and it's all burnt and everything, and there might be a piece of wood in there that really hasn't, you know, been changed into charcoal, or hasn't, you know, gone through the whole process that it's supposed to go through. And what happens is you get these, it actually digs into the paper, and it'll leave a stroke in your, whenever you're trying to shade or anything, you'll see that you'll see that mark in the paper, like a knife's been run across it. Okay, so be careful with that, and that's one of the pitfalls of, you know, of having using like a cheap willow charcoal and stuff. Also, some other stuff that you can use is compressed charcoal. Okay, now these ones I haven't really found that problem using the compressed charcoal. You can use any type of compressed charcoal that you want, and they probably won't have. I haven't come across it. So if someone else has, then yeah, you can leave a comment in the comment section. Just let everyone know, yeah, there is, and maybe, you know, you can just give us some information on that. But I haven't come across it. So with the compressed charcoal, I believe that's a lot safer. As I said, you know, the choice is yours. So with the compressed charcoal, they come in like blocks most of the time, or even circles. And also a good thing to practice all the time is just having that wedge shape there. Okay. So I think that's as far as I can go. When it comes to papers, it's always best to experiment. Okay. You can use very expensive ones. You can use very cheap ones, or just find what suits you, and yeah, go from there. I mean, experiment with different papers. I'll be doing a sketch on this one, fine white vellum. Okay. Arches fine white vellum, 75 pound. Okay, so this one you can use for pencils, or, you know, if you want charcoal, whatever, it's up to you. As I said, just experiment with the paper, because you might find some better than others. So I hope this helps you with your charcoal drawings and stuff. So if you have any questions, just put them in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get to them, and maybe I'll do a tutorial on it later. Yeah. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video.